Greetings, beloved multiversal soul familia. We are back with a miracle manifestation and mission focused Monday. Yes. So, we are going to go into Wisdom of the Hidden Realms to open these messages with what is being brought to light by Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. We will start with this deck, and then we will go into another, at least one other, for a bit more details, insights, teachable moments even, perhaps. Manifestation and mission focused. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Alright, that is one full pass. And we have 3 cards. Okay, we're going to take a look at this one first. And we have the Arrow Master. This is an indication that the collective is right on target, and the Arrow Master appears to help us target our intentions and teach us how to shoot straight for the stars. The message is to be deliberate about focusing your dreams and desires with intention, and about aligning your intention with spirit. Then let them fly on the wind, directed by the divine, until they reach your goal. The only way to hit the target is to allow the arrow of your intention to fly unencumbered by your eagerness to see it travel exactly the way you want it to go. You may think it needs to veer a certain way to reach your goal, but in the invisible realms, human power cannot make this happen. The divine has its own idea of how the arrow flies and upon what wind it's carried. Nonetheless, if you don't shoot, you'll never score. This is a fortunate message as long as you remember the law of detachment. If you do, then be assured that you are right on point. The law of detachment has different meanings in different contexts. In terms of being mission focused, letting go of worry and allowing things to happen. Similarly, in manifestation, letting go and having faith that desired miracles will happen unexpectedly. Letting go of emotions to manifest your dreams. And the second card to come out is the Sun Dancers, and joyful activity celebrating life as well as in abundance. The Sun Dancers. I see an abundance of good fortune coming in for the collective, with the Sun Dancers being side by side with the Arrow Master. And the vibration that I'm getting from these two cards combined is more in alignment with destiny. Reminding us of the laws of success and praise. So we went from the law of detachment into transmuting into the laws of success and praise. Anything that we place our attention on will manifest and experience. So the laws are always perfect. Expect the best and praise it in advance. This unleashes the magic of mystical magnetic energy, drawing circumstances to us to create the reality we envision. Give thanks in advance for the grace and goodwill of the divine, and be willing to dance the victory dance as if your greatest dreams are realized, and watch how easily things begin to fall into place. Stay positive and leave the timing up to the divine. All things are possible now. Dance the joy of being and celebrate your life in abundance today. Card number 3 to come out, we have the Altar Priestess. And now that song, Echo of Truth, is stuck in my head again. I can't exactly complain. It is my lyrics manifest. So, it's a goodie. Yes. And through sacred prayer, preparation, and other ritual, it came into fruition. And it was like divinely led action, but also the willingness to put in the work. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm being guided to go ahead and do one more full pass. We have the Hawk Prince, spirit communication and paying attention. So this is an indication that we're being guided to tune in more to the divine, but also tuning more into nature, as within, so without. So tuning into the nature of ourselves, but also our surroundings at this time. And the indication that I'm getting from this is that there are some important codes and downloads, so to speak, that we are meant to be receiving at this time. And it's not going to be exactly the same for everyone. But there is this immediacy to go into this sacred space, but a sacred space that is not like just some room tucked off in the corner of your house. And these aren't just any messages, beloveds. These are messages coming to help us manifest our destiny. And also a heads up that we have arrived at a very important stage along our paths. as the ally for spirit communication as well. This is where we're being guided to go into that sacred space, but again, also communing with nature, not that stuffy studio in the corner of your house, so to speak. Spirit is constantly in dialogue with us. And the question here is, are you listening? We're being guided to stay open and expect Spirit to speak to us and show us the way to our prosperity in all aspects of life. All right. So that's 2 more cards, and these will be the final ones for this deck. We have the Camel Boy, small steps and asking for help. So it appears that we now have 2 master numbers on the table between the Hawk Prince and the Camel Boy. This is clear indication to be courageous in not only being in open dialogue with Spirit, but not being concerned about asking for some kind of help on your path, along your path. Source loves it. Our higher selves love it when we ask for their assistance and guidance. And so do our ancestors. We do have 2 master numbers on the table, but I'm only going to ring the bell once. Now may be a good time to reduce the volume on your devices for just a moment, and I will count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. No matter the issue, this is a sign that if we ask, we will receive what we need. Synchronicity is engaged when we request assistance. It never lets us down when we ask for help in lightening our load, and now is the time to do so and to expect to get it. Asking for help and bringing in the right people to ease the burdens of your lives. Perhaps a wise person appears to give you advice, or suddenly a couple of friends offer to give you a hand packing if you're moving, or you need information about someone and you just happen to run into their former partner who gives you the knowledge you need to make the decision you've been weighing. And the third card to come out in this full pass is the River Queen, and embracing the flow. So between the Arrow Master and the River Queen, this message has already come full circle in terms of letting go, letting go, letting go of the outcome, letting go of the finish line. Letting go of perfectionism, even. So, the law of detachment and the law of non-attachment. Isn't that funny? Realizing that there isn't much difference. Non-attachment is also known as detachment. Hence the similarities between the Arrow Master and the River Queen. Letting go of attachment to material possessions, desires, and emotions in order to achieve inner peace. Letting go of attachment, emotional attachment, for that desire, for things, people, worldly concerns, and thus attaining a more heightened perspective. On that note, I'm actually going to turn off the overhead light before we go into the next deck to reduce this glare situation we have going on with the cards. Much better. And we are going to bring in the Kipper. Since we are on the topic of non-attachment and detachment, primarily for this Monday message, we are going to inquire what we need to let go of in order for it to manifest. Going into the Kipper. Here we go. What the collective needs to let go of in order for it to manifest. Okay, well that's a lot. I didn't request any limits, so this is the way the cookie crumbles. So, first out we have courtship. The energy is still on the table. I'm just moving it off to the side, beloveds. Okay, in terms of letting it go in order for it to come into fruition, we have courtship. In some cases, beloveds, being open for a new person who enters your life. Try to meet people and search for new contacts. Perhaps there is someone who will suddenly mean the world to you. In addition, courtship is an indication for all private and public meetings, getting together socially, romantically, or even for business reasons. Representing social life in all kinds of personal and business meetings, arrangements, clubs, groups, and friendly encounters. A potential couple. It can be interpreted literally. Interestingly enough, we had the Arrow Master come out first. from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And now we have none other than an Arrow Master in the first card to come out from the Kipper. Interesting. So it's indicating that Cupid's bow is unstrung and has no arrow. No one's wildly in love yet. So this is something that in higher densities has already come into fruition, but not quite so where we are at. Okay, now do keep in mind this isn't necessarily a romantic connection for everyone listening. It can be business, platonic, and otherwise. All right, now let's go into the next card. Unexpected income. Family room. Despair. And pathway. Let's go into unexpected income. Already this is telling me that this connection, that again is already occurring in the astrals, in higher realms, higher dimensions. It's beknownst to our higher selves, but unbeknownst to us. And instead of taking this as like literal money, what I'm seeing here is something that is most certainly going to start out small. And something along the lines of 2 weeks. And I'm saying this not only because that 2-week timeline is energetically associated with this card. We see the 2 and then we see the 7 here. So it's giving you 2 increments of 7 days. Okay. But with the 21 here, I'm getting 2 weeks to 21 days, which is 3 weeks. So for anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks of time, small increments of time invested in this connection in order to build it up to, I'm hearing, a surety. And I'm not sure why I'm hearing a surety. But more or less implying that there is guaranteed assurance regarding a particular outcome, even though it's unbeknownst to the collective. It simply means a certainty or a guarantee of some kind. Don't expect this guarantee from me beloveds. I'm simply the messenger. But you can expect this assurity from whomever this particular trickling type of connection. Like right now, it's a slow trickle. Okay, let's see how this despair card comes into play. Some form of grieving that has been occurring, or otherwise stress leading to emotional exhaustion, among other things. It can also mean some kind of connection, deep, profound connection that can potentially lead to some form of jealousy. Be it jealousy over a position in a business, a friendship, or even a romantic connection. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. I'm not a doctor, not a diagnosis, not a prescription, not a prognosis. I'm simply the messenger, beloveds. But regardless of that, we live in a polarized world. So this just goes to say that not everyone is for us. We're not for everyone. And not everyone is for us having any kind of joy or an abundance of assurance in anything really in life. But nevertheless, there is light at the end of the tunnel with this pathway card, which tells me that any amount of jealousy pertaining to this connection is powerless, because the collective is on the right path. This is confirmation, once again, about being on the right path. So, with the pathway, even more indication that things are looking good and they will be working out. A lot of transformation and transmutation occurring during this time of development, again, from 2 to 3 weeks. There will be this like transmutation and transformation occurring. And this, once the assurity is in place within those 2 to 3 weeks, then the longer haul comes into play. Overcoming distance both temporarily and spatially. And if you don't try to force matters, you'll experience continuous development in this connection. It can also be an indication of long distance. So this position, this vocational position, this platonic friendship, this romantic interest, well, it's unbeknownst to someone involved anyways. So this potential romantic union even is like a long distance from the collective, literally and figuratively speaking. One to 2 years of development until the next phase. So let's go back into the Kipper to figure out what that next phase will look like, because it's coming in this week. The awareness is coming in this week. And it's official. Not only is it official, but we have another master number on the table. Master number 22, which is also an indication of divine union. And it's also an indication that it's time to ring the bell again. So I will be as graceful and quiet with it as possible to ring in this official blessing in the count to 3. 1, 2, 3. As a matter of fact, whatever this is, coming out of poverty is already in the environment according to the bottom of the deck. And it's official. Yes. Some form of order is definitely coming into play here, but in a positive manner, especially with poverty being in reverse at the bottom of the deck. A far cry from what once was a sheltered life. The end of grinding monetary circumstances. In terms of these partnerships, beloveds, with the card being in reverse, it's indicating coming out of deprivation with both material and emotional matters. With these partnerships, feeling more loved and protected, and also finding yourself in very good terms in terms of your vocation. And collective, you have gained so much from your experiences. So much. All right. We are going to now reach for yet another deck. This time, I'm bringing in the Mystical Shaman for a bit more on what is coming in involving these connections. Along with these connections, all right, we're just going to move these cards again. They're still on the table off to the side, so the energy is still present. Before we go into this deck, I'm going to light the Palo. To offer a surety of clear, concise communication. All right. Here we go into the Mystical Shaman. As we go into these cards, it will be more indication of what will be immediate, more immediate. So within the next 24 hours, we have the Time Master, Pachamama, and the Holy Mountain. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is even more indication of just surrendering to the flow, handing over the outcomes to the divine. Number 57. At any given moment, you can see time in all its infinite potential, coming from the essence, at once vast and all-encompassing, then shrunken and finite. It all depends on perspective, beloveds. And the invitation for this card is, he asks a most important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. A true test of the time master, being invited to take back your power, to let go of the past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are all powerful. You are the time master, and anything is possible now. Equally, it's time to release your need to know the details of the future according to the medicine. And with Pachamama, unconditional love that the earth has for all her children, including the stones, the plants, the animals, and humans. So this touches base once again with when we go into this sacred space to allow these downloads and messages to come in for us pertaining to these connections, to also be sure that it involves nature in some kind of way, but being out in it. Even if it's in your own backyard. Now is the time to eat right, love right, and be joyous, regardless of the circumstances you may find yourself in. So, gratitude is most certainly the name of the game within the next 24 hours. Being grateful for life, our bodies, and all that nourishes us. Relishing in each breath, embracing our joy and our pain equally, and discovering love through both. Let Pachamama know how much you appreciate all her blessings with an act of service, such as planting a tree, helping save an endangered species, or protecting the ocean. Realizing you were given the garden to rejoice in and to become its steward, coming from the medicine. Also, your melancholy is really a longing to return to the heart of Pachamama. Listen deeply to the mother who is always there for you. Walk in beauty and honor all life. And with the holy mountain, inviting us to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. There it is. Confirmation of what I was saying about going into that sacred space. That, as the book would say, the sacred altar, where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you seek with clarity the perfection of all. Do not let your doubts deter you and keep you bound, according to the medicine. It's time to leap into these challenges and leap over them. And remember that from the top of the mountain there are no obstacles, only beauty and an unobstructed view of the entire earth. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. So, we're going to draw this to a close with the Hungarian Gypsy in terms of what else the collective is being called to let go of this week in order to usher in and manifest these new connections. Here we go. So far we've had one card come out, and it is merriment. Make it make sense. Letting go of merriment. So it's giving me the impression that it's like to not even focus on our desires at all. Just as we were touching on that with discussing non-attachment. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything else from that card other than just surrendering our desires instead of surrendering to them. There it is, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Constancy. So this is giving the impression of being a bit obsessed over situations. Excessiveness. And it's also confirmation of excessiveness in terms of that stress that was brought up earlier on in the message. So, letting go of that lack mentality and being obsessed over the collective's perception of change or lack thereof. All right, let's see what else. Oh, so we have 2 cards on the table, but also one that turned over inside the deck. We will take a look at that one in just a moment. Let's see what hit the table. So, Thief and Loss came out. So, this is already telling me if it was stolen, let them have it. And let go of the obsession over the losses that have occurred in order to make space for the new. Also, overcoming this overbearing pressure of feeling like somehow your good fortune was robbed from you. But a reminder that theft goes on all the time. Spending time with someone who drains you is a form of theft, as they are stealing your peace of mind and leaving you with that sense of being at loss or at a loss, depleted. It's also an air of caution to beware of being careless. And only you are going to know what that would mean for you. Also letting go of the notion of unexpected joy, which also means that as soon as we were to take our mind off of the possibility of unexpected joy, it will manifest. 5115 on the timer as I said that. Wow, yes. Opportunities for growth and transformation, creativity, progress, personal development, and luck, which I typically translate to good fortune. A sign of sensitivity, empathy, creativity, and harmony coming in. And now I'm hearing in all facets of life, where people behave in love, work, and life, even in the challenges that we face, resulting in personal freedom. So we began the message with the Arrow Master. Still present in the next deck. Metaphorically speaking, Cupid has returned. So just in the matter of time of this session, what was unstrung is now engaged. Meaning the intention is set for someone involved. This could be you, this could be the other people, places, things, and situations involved in these connections, beloveds. And it can only mean happiness, affection, love, and something positive, all positive. Emotional situations involving feelings. So already an improvement, going from despair to coming out of poverty, as well as emotional poverty, beloveds. Beautiful. Romance. And the love of a person. Regardless of the dynamics of that love. And behind that we have hope. And sometimes I like to refer to this as the harpoon lady She's tossing them roses in a farewell. And it can have a bit of a negative tone to it. If you think about it in terms of seeing it as a harpoon or a fish hook instead of an anchor, it's like the ships have sailed with a connection, or as they are about to sail with a connection. Whether it's a current connection where they're sailing off and departing without the tools necessary to strive at first, and they may have to figure out their own way, because again, it's like saying I'm going to go on a fishing trip without any fishing poles. But it can also mean, just to be fair, all the way around here, that all is possible through faith, and it's going to result in a positive outcome. It's all going to result in a positive outcome. One more full pass to draw this to a close. And here we are with some money. And all this is telling me is that no matter how all of this plays out for the collective, no one is going to be at a loss. No one is going to lose out on anything in any way, shape, or form. As it doesn't mean literally necessarily letting something go in order to manifest the new. It is most certainly indicating change. See the change? So the change is happening. Confirmation of what I was saying about the small steps in the first couple to a few weeks. And then it's going to transition into more long-term developments over the next couple of years. And the collective is about to give birth to something. Whether it's a brand new project that's going to be long-lasting, a relationship, be it platonic or otherwise, whatever it is a gift, divinely orchestrated. See all the purples? That is the color of divine royalty. Especially the rose, the magenta, the violet. It's all like alignment. Indication of alignment. Spiritual alignment. Emotional alignment. And even with the candelabra here, I'm hearing physical. Like whatever it is, it's going to have you at attention and sitting up straight with your shoulders back and your head held high. perhaps even with your arms up in the air in celebration and praise. And the necklace, the string of pearls, somewhat resembles grapes. An abundance of these contributions, rewards, as well as like equal reciprocity with the acts of giving and receiving. A new start. Of a project or a relationship. Loyalty. Is royalty. And that is the message. Thank you so very much, beloveds, for tuning in for this Miracle Manifestation Mission Focused Monday message. With much gratitude and appreciation. From my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings.